Welcome to Voices of GFLI, the podcast where we hear directly from members of the Global Feed LCA Institute. In this series, we explore how trusted environmental data is shaping a more sustainable future for the animal feeds industry. Our guests share how they use the GFLI database in practice, how it supports their sustainability goals, and why credible, consistent metrics matter more than ever. This is the Voices of GFLI, where data, insight, and impact come together.
First of all, thank you for inviting me to share this time with you. And my name is Pedro Cordero. I'm a FEFAC president right now from 2 years ago. And as a FEFAC president as well, I'm part of IFF board. This is International Feed Association. And during the last year, because several reasons, I was part of GFLI board as well, which is really exciting for me. As a surprise, positive surprise, within FEFAC and all the members that we are sharing this amazing tool that we can talk about in the next coming minutes, I hope. Well, this is something that I discovered, really, that FEFAC was one of the founders of GFLI. And let me say that was a very positive surprise and a very, very exciting surprise, because I think that these people, not only FEFAC, but the other founded members have a vision, because the GFLI was founded 10 years ago. So 10 years ago, the sensitivity about sustainability was not the same that we are having right now, mainly in Europe. So why these people decided to found GFLI? So the question is coming to me, and the answer could be because they were thinking in the long term. There's something that coming to the sector, that sustainability is a really important thing in our actuality and the current times that we are living. But what happens 10 years ago that motivated them to create a GFLI? So, and when I told to my colleagues in FEFAC, they told me that we feel that we really needed something to build something to calculate the footprint of our products, which is a main answer from them, but not only about data, it's also about the strategy, about how we can support the farmers, how we can support the feed sector in a proper way to be more sustainable. So this is really, really a good discovery for me, how the people who found our colleagues in the last couple of years, former president of FEFAC, and also the people of FEFAC working with me today, that's nice. So it's a nice discovery. Well, the first thing to comment is probably that when we talk about FEFAC and GFLI, we think about Europe, but GFLI is more than Europe. GFLI is not only for Europe. GFLI should be and is for the whole sector worldwide. We are working strongly with our partners in another association, in the IFF, of course, but many companies are global companies, so we cannot only determine that the GFLI is useful for Europe. This is the first thing that I think that we need to remark. And the second one is that because of that, Europe is very dependent in some specific raw materials, mainly protein raw materials, and we need to import, not for instance, the soybean meal or whatever other, and corn, etc. So we cannot think only in Europe in this regard as well. We are buying global commodities, so we need to have the footprint, and we should be capable to calculate the footprint of all the commodities that we are importing, not only the products that we produce here in Europe. GFLI really fits FEFAC about sustainability. We really need something like the GFLI for our members and for our sector. The first point is that how to calculate the carbon emission of feed. Livestock it's a big concern in Europe, you know, and the big part of the footprint of the livestock production comes from the feed. Depending on the species, it's ranking between 45 until 84, depending on the species. Ruminant is lower and monogastric higher, mainly because of the land use change that apply to some raw materials. And in this regard, FEFAC have a mission to really try to advise to our feed producer about how to reduce their footprint in the products. And the first principle to do that is to measure and calculate the footprint. For this regard, we need to have a methodology, clear methodology, reliable data, and as much as possible, the largest database that we can. So this is the main goal that we want and we should achieve with GFLI as a reliable tool to calculate the footprint of our products and support to the next players on the food chain to calculate as well their own footprint. We cannot forget that we are in the middle of the food chain. We are part of the food chain. At the end, I've said this message always in the last couple of times, we cannot forget that the feed sector is not alone. It's in the middle of the food chain. We are receiving the raw materials with their own footprint. We produce the feed with our own footprint to the farmers, and we are, at the end, contributing to feed the world. So this is something that we cannot forget, and we should do it in a more sustainable way as possible. Well, this is an interesting question because during the conversation we have the last couple of months about how to increase the use of GFLI within FEFAC members, and some of them told to us that it could be interesting to offer to the National Association a kind of package to be member. Because in our members we have small companies, medium-sized companies, and big companies, and the large companies can be directly member of GFLI, and in fact they are, and they are contributing, strongly contributing with their own data or calculation of the specific products to calculate their own footprint. But what happens with the small and medium-sized feed producers in an association? So the answer was simple and complicated because it's something new that is not existing right now in GFLI. So they proposed to us to try to investigate how we can, member association of FEFAC can be member directly of GFLI. So we proposed to GFLI board for the first time ago. And during the last months, some people were working on the solution. This is not yet applied. We need to discuss in the board, etc. So we want to propose something specific for to cover these needs. But we think that it's interesting that all the members of an association can have access in a and proper way and accessible way to the database to promote the use of GFLI as a tool. And harmonize this tool, because at the end we want to have a harmonized database for all members of GFLI, all members of FEFAC, and not only for FEFAC, of course. And I told before at the beginning of my speech, not only in Europe. We think that this solution can fit for the needs of many people, not only Europe, but also in other countries and associations. This is not easy. We need to discuss with our partners, but I trust that we can find a solution for that. Well, I think that there are several aspects that we need to consider. Probably from the market perspective, this is good to have a harmonized database and common database to talk about sustainability with the same language. When you talk about, for instance, let me give you an example. When you talk about the energy of the feed or you talk about the protein of the feed, everybody knows what that doesn't mean. When you talk about sustainability, we have doubts. So the use of a harmonized database makes easier the work of the companies in the market to explain their targets, what they can improve with their products or services. And I think it's quite similar to the policymakers to have a common language to talk with us, with the sector, because otherwise we are talking with the several different languages about the same topics. This is important from my point of view to have a common language to talk. There is other tools, we know, but we are promoting GFLI as a reliable, harmonized database and language, let me say, to talk about footprint in the feed sector, to harmonize and make more easy the conversation about these topics, and not in the market, and also in the public opinion, and also in the policymakers. Right. We are producing food at the end. We are part of the food chain, so if we want to gain the trust of the consumer at the end, because we are supporting the farmers, we need to have reliable data. And to have reliable data, we need a tool like GFLI. The GFLI is one of the, as far as I know, one of the most relevant data used worldwide, not only in Europe, once again, but also how we can explain to the end consumer what we are achieving in our production. Probably later we can talk about what we are doing at farm level to support the farmers, but also there is a nice concept floating in the market, which is green marketing. When you talk about green marketing, what does it mean? It could be greenwashing, could be something fine or beautiful words in a label, but we want to be more science-based. In this regard, each company, each feed producer wants to have their own approach to the market, more simple, more complicated, more elaborated. I want to have developer license because I need to develop this and this and this, and I only need to measure my footprint because I'm more small producer. I don't need to complicate myself too much, but I want to have clear message to my customer about sustainability. This is the ways where we have to offer all kind of people in the market, or all kind of members, different possibilities to adapt their needs to the kind of license that GFLI have. But this is also an advantage because everybody can have, every company can have their own solution to offer a proposal to their customers. In fact, we have a proposal last year, call it the Green Feed Labeling Guidance, but it's a specific proposal together with our partners Copa Cocheca, which are representing the cooperatives and the farmers. I was endorsed by the European Commission. Green Feed Labeling Guidance include GFLI as an elemental tool for calculate the footprint of our feed. So you need to use the GFLI database together with the data coming from the suppliers, can give to the farmers footprint of our feed. And with this data, the farmer can also calculate their own footprint at farm. And this could be an opportunity for the next steps of the food chain to calculate as well their own footprint. But our proposal downstream is to support the farmers and to have reliable data and information from our impact in the farms. As I told at the beginning of our conversation, the footprint of the feed is the higher footprint that the farmer have normally. Depending on the species, as I told. But it's a big part of the footprint of the farmers. So if we want to advise the farmer to how to reduce their own footprint of the farm, we need to inform them, and farmers should be aware of the footprint that the feed is producing in the farm, in their production. So, and in this way, we can support the farmers to improve their sustainability, and of course, to the farmers to sell really better their goods to the end consumers, because we can put the label in our feed with the data based on science, not in theories or wherever the things, you know what I mean? So this is not a fancy story, this is science-based history. So GFLI is a pivotal solution and a pivotal element of this proposal that we are doing to our downstream partners. The value is quite similar to the downstream at the end, because the suppliers want to have also a big and strong collaboration with us, with the feed sector, to not only calculate our footprint, but also improve and increase our sustainability and reduce our footprint. In this regard, it's important to engage the suppliers in this mission. And there are many things that we can do together with them. Know the origin of the raw materials. At the beginning, we talked about the global commodities. This is 100% relevant in Europe because we are net importers of many of raw materials. So we need to really engage our suppliers in these kind of topics, because otherwise we are missing information. So what is the origin of the product? What is the level of land use change that we are really calculating? What is the transport footprint? Of course, it's not the same when the goods come from other side of the Atlantic and the goods are produced here in Europe. So we need to have all this kind of information. And we need the information in the same language that we are talking with the farmers. So we are in the middle. We are a kind of, let me say, translator of the information from the suppliers to the farmers. So, and the farmers should do the same. And this is why we try to also promote in the farm level. There are many companies working in the formulation with the inside the calculation of the footprint. You are calculating the energy, the protein, the cost, but at the same time you can calculate the impact of the product. So this is very important for the farmers to have this information. So we can work together with the suppliers and our suppliers upstream, and with our farmers, with the farmers downstream. It is very relevant. So that means we have a high responsibility in the middle. So this is important to remark, but at the same time is something that make more important and relevant our mission in this regard. Well, this is one of the biggest challenges we have with GFLI right now, because we are in the middle of a long trip. I always say that our founder created a night baby. The baby is a kid, and the kid now is a teenager. So many people hear me to tell that and laughing with this explanation. But now we need to feed the teenager to be an adult. And that means to increase the number of data. We really need to include some ingredients that are not right now in the database, coming from several parts from companies, but also from some associations that are using some raw materials and ingredients that can include in the database. The quality of the data as well. We need to control really the quality of the data. In this regard, we need to invest time and probably funds to verify everything and to have 100% sure that our data quality is perfect. We cannot accept any which is not perfect in our database. Finally, I think that we have a nice opportunity because we are not alone in this sustainability market. Let me say between a lot of brackets. We are not alone, but there are other offers to the feed producers, but I think that we have the most powerful database, not only in terms of reputation, because we are institute, right? We are not a commercial company selling the database. Of course, we need to have the licensing and receive the payment for that, and we need funds to develop new products, new data sets, enlarge the database and control the quality of the data. This is one of most important challenge that we have today, I think. Well, this is a nice question. Let me say that I'm the rookie in the team, the new guy in the team of GFLI, because, well, I work together with other colleagues 1 year ago. But the first thing that I want to remark is the quality of the team of GFLI. These colleagues are doing a very good job the last couple of years without not too much resources, let me say. So this is mainly because they really believe in the project. So this is important to remark. The second question to remark is I'm fully convinced that the future of GFLI is really, really good if we develop properly. And I think all the people engaged in this mission strongly believe in GFLI. Honestly, this is my main experience in the last 1 year talking about GFLI. And personally, for me, this is something that I discovered. I never heard about GFLI before until I became part of FEFAC. And this is something that we also need to improve the communication. And in the last couple of months, let me say that GFLI team is doing a very good job in communication. I can see everywhere GFLI, everywhere, in the media, LinkedIn, and all the social media. So this is very important to me to create the awareness and to promote the use of this tool. This is a relevant tool, but we need to communicate the positive things that we are doing. This is my three main points regarding my experience in this 12 months working with the GFLI people. Well, this is also a relevant topic, the transparency. When you want to create the trust in what you are doing, specifically about sustainability, you need to be very transparent. And transparency means that clarity on the data and use a verified database. Because otherwise, probably this green marketing I mentioned before is only marketing, which is not good from sustainability purposes. This is good for commercial purposes, but we are not achieving the goals to reduce our footprint, which is the real aim that we have or should have in our daily basis work. And in this regard, I think that the GFLI has a very clear advantage in terms of the transparency that can provide to our partners. Well, This is an important question because in 5 years probably I will not be here in the GFLI team. I don't know, nobody knows, but it's okay. Anyhow, the question is that in 5 years, what I think that is important for GFLI is to be the preferred database for the sector worldwide. It's probably too ambitious, but I strongly believe that it's feasible. To make this possible, first of all, communicate as much as possible what is GFLI, what is the purpose of GFLI, what can GFLI do for you in your business, in your daily basis, and the production of the feed sector. And second question important is to really enlarge the database, to create a biggest and stronger and reliable database, verification of the data, link it with the quality of the data, not because the quality of the data we have today are not good, no. It's because we want to demonstrate to all the sector that they can trust in GFLI as a preferred tool. This is the key points, 3 key points for me. But of course, to give access as much as possible to the big part of the feed sector. We are talking about Europe in my case, but of course it's my main mission to expand the use of GFLI for several reasons that we talk about during our conversation. And also in this regard, probably we need to have an open mind to create new ways of working with GFLI. It's not only one way. Probably we need to open the mind to new way of working with GFLI in the future. We will see, and then I will strongly support all kind of initiatives in this regard. So I'm really happy to be part of this history for now and probably in the future, I know. So, and thank you for the opportunity to give my opinion and my thoughts together with you.
Thanks for tuning in to Voices of GFLI. If you're inspired by what you've heard, be sure to follow us and explore more stories from across the Global Feed community. Together, we're driving transparency, collaboration, and sustainable change. One conversation at a time.